Hi everybody, Gigabeef here, bringing you the next part of my beginner series. Today we're going to talk about the flea market and how to use it to your advantage, which is one of my favourite things in Tarkov. I'm often accused of enjoying the market too much. Firstly, with a few basics, you need to be level 5 to access the marketplace. The best way to get there is by doing the starter quests. They give you a good amount of XP, so just start with Prapor's debut and you'll be there in no time at all. In general, the flea market is very much like eBay for Tarkov. Players put up items for sale, and you can browse through and buy what you like. Not wanting to get ahead of myself, but there's a few basic trades that can help to get a new player going that I wanted to mention right at the beginning of the video. Don't worry if you're totally new and this doesn't make sense first time. We'll be going over how to navigate around the flea market in a little moment, but these trades are too important to leave until later. Number 1. Rechargeable battery for an ADAR. You can get this once per reset on Skier. Number 2 is the 3 half-face masks for a Packer armor from Ragman. Number 3 is 8 brown-handled knives for an MP5 from Peacekeeper. Again from Peacekeeper on number 4 is 4 grey-handled knives for a pistol, and from Prapor 3 Tushonkas for an AKM. It's important that new players start using these trades straight away, as they're accessible at level 1 and start giving you free money to use for other things. You don't like the ADAR? Then just sell it on the market. Batteries are usually 13k, whereas the ADAR will sell for 23, giving you a risk-free 10k ruble profit. So there's a couple of settings I'd like to point out initially, which are the filters. And also we're going to be discussing the searches which allow you to navigate around the flea market much more easily. These together are very useful and powerful. We will be using 3 main filters, starting with the remove barter trades, which effectively stops displaying player barters. For the most part, these are completely useless and effectively scams, as very few of these player barter trades are fair when using the actual market prices. However, Tarkov uses trader prices for the bartered items that the players have put up for sale, giving a ruble estimate that is much lower than the real price where players are actually buying and selling, so many of these trades appear at the start of the list when searching low to high on price. Let's get rid of these. We will also be using show functional items. You don't necessarily always want this turned on, because occasionally you'll find bargains on guns that hardly need anything extra, but if you're searching for a fresh weapon, this can come in handy to screen out others that don't work with their existing components. Display offers from trader only is mostly helpful in searching for barter trades from the AI vendors. If you're looking to buy regular items in cash, we can happily leave this setting showing all offers, as if players are selling an item for a lower value than the traders, we usually want to know about it. If we are looking for a vendor barter trade, we will have to remove the no barter trades filter that we discussed earlier, as we don't want to see all of the trash player barters too, so this filter gets rid of these. There are also currency and quantity filters which are self-explanatory, and also condition filter, i.e. only see armor above X% of durability. This is quite useful, but quite niche. So the primary purpose of the flea market is to buy stuff. We can use the filters on the side to find what we're looking for, or use the search to specify exactly what we need, although this can be a little bit fiddly and doesn't really interpret your text all that well. A tip to speed up buying generally is to use the Y key to buy items when the purchase box opens, rather than clicking accept. You can also look by groups of items, such as what is the cheapest sniper rifle, what is the cheapest scope, which can be useful when generally getting a feel for the value items that are in the game. When modding weapons, using the linked search is essential. Tarkov's linked search works in a tree-like structure, so if you linked search an AKMS, it will show you all of the items that directly attach to that gun, but nothing further. For example, if you need an adapter for a scope, it will only show up when linking the adapter. If you just linked search the AKMS itself, only the adapter will appear, and not the scope. This can cause some issues if you don't know which part works between one item and another. The main problem for beginners using AKs is not knowing how to find a new handguard to attach grips. This is because the handguard fits around the gas tube, and so it doesn't appear in the AK linked search. However, if you linked search on the gas tube itself, handguards appear. I'll be talking more about this in a future basic modding video, so be sure to check that out. Selling items efficiently is also an important part of Tarkov. Coming out to a raid with a ton of sweet loot, then you better know how to sell your gear in the optimal way. We can sell to the traders or to the flea market, and typically the flea market gets better rates, but not always. It's important to keep in mind that you'll only have 3 slots to sell on the market, so sometimes it's not worth it even if it's marginally better price-wise. Also remember there is a fee for selling that you don't have to pay if you sell to the traders directly. With this in mind, you'll want to sell the items with the highest turnover on the market first, i.e. those items that people most want to buy. Typically this will be guns or armor, or widely used attachments like red dot scopes and hideout barter items. I wouldn't start with a specific foregrip for a higher tier weapon, for example. This ensures that you clear out your slots as quickly as possible to allow you to rapidly get rid of all of your looted gear with the optimal prices from the market. If we have an item that we want to sell, first we should direct search that item in the menu. We can see all of the other player offers out there and can gauge where we want to place that item. Typically we want to get a good price, but have our item bought as quickly as possible. There's nothing worse than having a slot sat around for hours on end, forcing you to either wait until it expires or have to pull it from the market. This lowers your rating and is not very efficient either. On the other hand, we don't want to just put our item up under the current best offer always. It's worth checking what levels are behind the front to see if it's really the best we can do. Sometimes it's better to put it up just behind the second or maybe the third offer, knowing that offers 1 and 2 are going to get bought pretty quickly based on price. For selling armor, as the durability makes this a little more nuanced, it's nice to use the condition filter to see similar armors to your own. This makes it a little easier to put up a decent piece of armor without undercutting yourself too much by putting it under other armor that hasn't got a high quality. If you find a modded weapon, the best strategy for maximizing your profit is typically to strip all of the non-standard parts and revert the weapon back to its stock configuration. Broadly speaking, the base weapon will sell easily on the market, and the other components, including new handguards, will sell for more on the flea market on their own than you would get if you left them attached. In this clip, we disassemble an SKS that was found in Raid and remove the Tapco additions to replace them with the original cheap stock. Buy the basic version if required to make your weapon functional, i.e. non-red, as a lot of people will have that filtered out when they're looking for new guns. If you have the patience, there is also money to be made from buying low and selling high, as offers come in from players who just want the money ASAP and haven't really thought about the price they're putting their items up at. However, these opportunities are usually snapped up within microseconds, and it's a bit boring to refresh over and over looking at one specific item. Slightly more interesting is looking out for guns with attachments left over on them, especially scopes, foregrips, laser sights. These are what I call some of the parts type trades, where you can buy a gun, strip the good bits, put it back on at stock, and sell it for the same amount as you bought it but with some attachments for free. These usually stick around a little longer, as they're harder to spot and other market participants are usually not specifically looking for this type of opportunity. In this clip, we buy an AKMS for 22,000 rubles. We remove the B10 handguard and replace it with the cheap trader base version and sell the original AKMS for 20k, as well as the B10 for 14,000. This results in a profit of 10k rubles after market fees. In summary, utilising the flea market efficiently will allow you to get more out of your loot, and ultimately will give you more money to spend on your loadouts and the hideout that you'd miss out on otherwise. Thanks for watching. If you learned something or enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.